Everyone loves the idea of making 20, 40 grand in a summer, but nobody talks about what this life actually looks like day over day. The early mornings, the 12-hour work shifts, the grind, the heat, the rain, people quitting. This isn't a job, it's really a lifestyle you step into in the summer. So let me show you today what does that look like. Most people think door-to-door is just knocking. They think it's simple, they think it's just a side hustle. And I really always laugh at the people describing the job that way, because they don't really understand what is happening behind the scenes. Every summer, at least in Canada and the States, I'll say thousands of people pack their bags, leave their hometowns, move into a new city, hotel, dorms, you name it. And here's the cool part, it's full commission. It's something that nobody understands because it's a new city, it's a new team, it's a new lifestyle, new pressure, new identity. Door-to-door isn't just something you do, it's really something you become. Perfect, so welcome back to my beautiful whiteboard. Today, we're gonna be talking about the summer timeline, the 4-month period summer timeline. And how are we starting? We're starting in the first one, the first part of that spectrum, which is move. What do I mean by move? This is where the job gets quote unquote real, because then you have to move. You move from your hometown, you move from your home, you move from your city. A lot of people go to BC, a lot of people go to Alberta, Ontario, I mean, everywhere in Canada. I will say mostly every single province in Canada has a door-to-door team already knocking for some sort of service or product. But here's the cool thing. It turns out to be like a summer camp slash sports team, because everyone moves into a hotel, Airbnb, university dorms, I mean, you name it. It's actually a pretty cool experience. But it's really funny to see the very first day of the summer. All the rookies are like super nervous of what's happening. All the vets coming in here like, I own this fucking place. All the managers just looking at everything. I mean, it's a pretty cool experience to have and to see the very first day, because everyone is pretending not to be scared, but they fucking are. So that's the first part. Second part, the mornings. And this is really one of the most important things of your summer, because the mornings, or basically our correlations, this is where you start seeing more structure on the job. What do I mean by that? Every single day we meet up at 9 a.m., 10 a.m. on a weekday, Monday to Friday, or 9 a.m. on a Saturday. And then what do we typically go on those meetings? So first we go through some sort of role play, some sort of training, numbers, competitions, leaderboard, important announcements. That's typically within the weekdays. And on Saturday it's just numbers, meaning how many are you selling that day, and then straight up to area. Now, personally, I will say that in order to just have a really good culture, at least in our experience, you need to have really cool correlations. Not too long though, which that's something that typically happens a lot of times, because you start just yapping about everything or door stories or whatnot, and then it makes it super long. But anyways, good culture equals good correlations, valuable correlations. So here is where you stop feeling as, hey, I'm just knocking doors, but you start feeling as a competition, because you start seeing every single person selling one to sell 1 or 2, and then you have that inner competition against the other rookies. So that's the second part. Third, the grind. This is where it gets real. Knocking 10, 11 to 12 hours straight. So Mondays to Fridays, probably 11 a.m., noon to 9 p.m. And then on Saturdays or holidays, 9 to 9. Now, here it doesn't really matter if it's raining, if it's snowy, if it's hot. It doesn't fucking matter. You're out there knocking doors. Here is where you learn what the actual job, you learn the whole sales aspect. You deal with rejection. You deal with people screaming at you. You deal with the cool people. You deal with the family that are giving you food and water. You deal with the neighborhood that it's kind of like weird, but you feel that vibe. Like you learn every single part of the job in the grind part. Now, I've been talking or sharing this thought of every single door is a feedback. And this is the most important part because you always get to show a new you. Or what I like to say is you have a short-term memory on the doors. You had a bad experience, or somebody screamed at you, or they rejected you, or they say no. The best salespeople have short-term memory. They just forget about that one and then continue to the next one. Because at the end of the day, they don't know you. They don't know what you're doing. You might think, oh, it's my 45 pitch. They don't know. They were just washing the dishes. You knocked on their door. They're like, oh, what do you want? So that's really cool because it's a new way to get better at sales every single time, every single day, every single month. What's going on with my voice? The fuck? Anyways, culture, beautiful. This is the most important part because one of the only things that people or rookies will remember on their first summer is how cool were my days? Like, did I actually have a really good time? And typically in our summer program, we are working on developing the best culture ever. So what do we have? Car groups. Like I still remember up to this day, my very first year, my car group with shout out to our test. We just blasting out 50 Cent, going to area, driving for like 40 minutes and then just getting super hyped up. But it's the same thing. Now that you're a manager, you see all the rookies, you're driving to area, they're super nervous, knocking on the first doors. But then when you pick them up 9:30, if they got their first sale, they're super excited. They're telling everyone about the story, what they learned, or maybe the one who didn't is just kind of like anxious about getting his next sale. I mean, it's such a beautiful moment having car groups and as an experienced rep, just because you get to see all the rookies, what happened on their days. So that's one. And then the other one is just your activity days. So typically in our summer, we have one day throughout the week in our case, it was Wednesday, where we go and play, we make it fun. Soccer, basketball, kickball, spikeball, I mean, you name it. Because at the end of the day, that's what creates culture. Even though we're competing all the time, we want to make sure we show that brotherhood at the end. Saturdays at night, typically we just go for pizza, or we just get together and have like a nice meal after the doors, just to make sure that we feel that we grinded for something greater than just 12 hours. And then obviously Sundays are up to you. But here's the cool thing. This is the part that a lot of people start quitting, which is real. I'm not going to come out here and tell you, oh, this job is beautiful, because in reality it's not. Typically, half of the people who start the job already quit. So at the end of the day, it is cool to see the actual grinders. That's what I put here, grind, because you get to see the actual hustlers that at this point, the 2 months probably in, they understand where they're going for. They have goals, they have objectives, and they're willing to die on the line just to achieve those. Then we go into commission, which is the most beautiful thing about the job, because you eat what you kill, and that's it. It's pretty basic, it's pretty simple. There is no salary, no safety net, no backup plan. Basically here is you have the mindset that I need to go out there and sell, because if I don't sell, I don't make money, I don't pay my bills, I don't eat food, you name it. The best salespeople are the ones who can emotionalize the job. And that's something really key that I learned from one of our managers. But here, at first, it feels terrifying. It feels weird, because you've been used to getting a monthly salary for maybe 1, 2, or for the time that you've worked. But when you encounter this situation, then you became that superhero of your story. You know that every single day you have to go out there and conquer, no matter what. No matter if it's 8 a.m. or if it's 9:30 p.m. and it's your last door and you haven't sold anything, you still have the mindset that I need to go for it. I need to make a sale because I want to make some money. And subconsciously, you're telling your brain, I'm in control. Like, I'm in control of my life and I can go and make it work. So this is beautiful. And this is what sales is. But this is the most scary part for 90% of people. I don't know if you haven't watched my last video, I talk about the spectrum of jobs. I'll put a link in the description if you haven't watched it. But all these guys that are already doing commission at this point, they understand that they want to do a skill-based job, not something that it's the safety net that I call. It's a good video, you should watch it. Now, then we go into the return. Basically here, season is over, September hits, and after a long 4 months of grinding, hustling, you're relief. People go back home, go back to their cities, but you go back different. Your family, it's like, something changed. Your friends tell you, hey, what happened to you? Your co-workers, you name it. Why? Because I like to say, in a year, you have 2 lives. One life, it's on a 4-month summer, basically your 4-month program of door-to-door sales, and then the off-season, that's your second life. But this is beautiful because you get to come back as a completely different person. You talk different, you move different, everything within you is different. And that's what, when you add all of this and it compounds, you turn out to be just a completely different human being. And that's the job. It's you coming as an A or an XY individual and then coming up of this 4 months as a completely different person. It's hard for me to put it into words, but the amount of people I've seen coming and changing their personality in a good way, their communication skills, the way they move, it's beautiful. And that's the most powerful, just key of the job. And I love that. So just to start concluding with the video today, if I were to test you right now, they fire you tomorrow from your job, could you go out there and make money? Could you create income? If the answer is yes, perfect, you're in a good track. But if the answer is no, there's nothing wrong with it, but remember, awareness is key. And if the answer is no, maybe doing sales or door-to-door sales could be an option for you. Maybe any of these resonated with you, you're a little bit more interested, you want to learn a little bit more, just drop me a comment info, I'll reach out to you, or go into my Instagram and text me or DM me info, and I'll be more than happy to just explain you everything, the opportunity, the company that we work for. We're still hiring for a summer 26 program. So if this is something for you, great. If it's not, at least you understand that there is another opportunity. Appreciate you for watching. More to come always. I'll catch you guys on the next one.